Sometimes gluten-free recipes just don't taste like the original. But I found 3 classic cookie recipes I converted to gluten-free that work well. You won't be able to taste the difference. For these gluten-free oatmeal cookies, you need to start with 1 1/4 cups of softened butter. Then add 3/4 cups of brown sugar, packed, and 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. Mix the butter and sugar together until creamy. Add 1 egg and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Mix well. Now it's time to mix the dry ingredients. Start with 1 1/2 cups of gluten-free flour. I use King Arthur measure for measure flour, and I've always had good luck. I add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. However, for mine, I used a chai spice mix instead of nutmeg from Curio Spice Company. I think it gives the oatmeal cookies a more dynamic flavor. After you've mixed the dry ingredients, add 3 cups of oats to the dry ingredients and add to your wet ingredients. If you don't have a cookie scoop, I highly suggest you find one. It makes the perfect size cookies. After I put them on the cookie sheet, I squish mine a little bit to give them a thinner shape. Bake at 375 Fahrenheit and for about 10 to 11 minutes. One thing I've noticed about gluten-free flour is it doesn't brown as well as regular flour. The chocolate chip cookies were the most popular in my house. So you're going to start off with 6 tablespoons of room temperature butter and mix it with 1/3 cup granulated sugar, 1/2 cup of brown packed sugar, 3 tablespoons of honey, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 3/4 a teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Now add 1 tablespoon of cider vinegar, 1 large egg, and 2 tablespoons of milk, and you'll need to mix well. Stir the 2 cups of gluten-free flour into the dough. I used 1 1/2 cups of chocolate chips. It says you can use up to 2, but I thought that was a little much. And so I only used the 1 1/2 and then fold it into the dough. Again, use a cookie scoop to put out the perfect portions for the cookies. These ones will be a little bit round, but that's okay. Next, we have the gluten-free peanut butter cookies, and these were my personal favorites. So you start off with 1 cup of peanut butter, 1 cup granulated sugar, 1/2 cup brown sugar, and 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. I used salted, it was fine. And mix it together to make it nice and creamy. Add in 2 eggs and 1 teaspoon vanilla extract and stir well. In a separate bowl, add in the flour, which is 1.5 cups, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and then add it into your wet ingredients. Again, use a cookie scoop and it will be the perfect size to roll into a ball, and then do the classic fork design on the top. Bake at 350 for 11 to 13 minutes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon with more gluten-free recipes.